Hey folks, welcome back to the Nate Carlisle Show. Today's show is going to be a little bit humbling, a little bit more, the controversial will be there, but there's not going to be as much energy in today's show as I found myself in one of those slumps as a business owner, as a friend, as a dad. A lot of this comes to pieces when you start to realize that the groups, your friendship, who you've been around, who you thought you would be around for the rest of your life, starts to die off. And so, looking through all this recollection, I had time to spend. I had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with one of my great friends. And I was telling him some of my just random things about my life. And I had a situation, and maybe I'll tell it sometime, where in the religion I was sent away. I was being told to go away from the religion. Those who I loved, those who I thought loved me, and my own parents, and my whole life, I was being sent away by the bishop at the FLDS community there. And I was telling him about this, and he made the comment. He says, "No, Nate, thanks for sharing that with me, but I'm not going to tell anybody about that." And I says, "Why? Why? Like, I'm fine. Like, you're not going to offend me if you go tell this story, because now it's funny to me. At the time, it was pretty dramatic." And he says, "Well, I don't want to embarrass you. Like, it's like more or less just." I just don't want to embarrass you. And I says, "Look, man, I have my family, and I have 4 or 5 friends, and I have my business partners. I don't need anybody else. I don't need their approval. If they look over here and they see my success, they see who I am, see what I have, and want to look at me as an example, etc., then so be it. But I'm going to be myself, and I don't care. Like, I have nothing to lose outside of it. The people that I have to lose by going already know everything about me, and I mean everything. So it's hard to give a shit when you've identified who you're trying to please and who you're not trying to please, what groups you're trying to be a part of and what groups you're not trying to be a part of. And so many things have come by thinking about this last week. I had a couple of experiences with some of my employees and that, where it's really, really just clear in my head that I've got to be myself. And if that is offending people that used to be my friends or wanted to be my friends, just haven't had a chance, or whatever the case is, so be it. We weren't meant to be friends, because I'm not going to find myself in a circle where I am going to be faking it. That would just be so stupid. I want to be in a circle where it's like-minded. We understand each other. We can get aggressive. We can have controversial conversations, but yet we respect people. We respect each other based on the merits, based on their values and their value, quite frankly, because if you're a high value person, you have something going right. And it's kind of funny to a lot of the people that are getting back and really dogging me on, since I've been putting myself out there on social media. Like, they're successful too, so it really makes you scratch your head and wonder what's going on in their head. Why are they wasting their time on listening to your podcast, listening to what you're doing, just to go out and criticize it? Maybe focus on yourself. And that's where I'm at. I don't listen to any podcasts that I don't want. If I don't think that I can glean value that will build me up and those around me up, I don't listen to it. I never listen to something just to criticize it. So I don't listen to politics or the news. It's just like I could get my thoughts and my head all wasted up in the news, or I could just go focus on my success and focus on the businesses that I have going and focus on being that great dad and that great husband for my family. And it's been very clear to me what that direction is. And it's not about pleasing anybody. And you can't change anybody either. If you think that someone has value for you, and then you come to find out they don't have that value, just move on. And even if their character doesn't match up to you, if they're not giving you the vibes that they love you, who you are and what you are, then just move on. You're not going to try to change it. And you're going to find that that proposed value you see in that person is just going to make you be someone who you're not. And so you end up being fake. And in the long term, you're going to lose their friendship. You're going to lose whatever value you might had it with them based on you're just fake. So another thing is I had this group of friends that I got to know back probably 12, 14 years ago, and I really thought I wanted to be their friend. And still till about a week ago, I really thought I wanted to be their friends. They're in business, they're successful, but there was just something about it. Each time I hung out with them, you know, I hooked up with them through some of my other friends. Each time I tried to be their friend, there was just something off. And I can get serious at times, and I love getting serious, and I love talking real business. I love talking about real life. I'm humor in my own way, but it's all based on real life and real serious. And with this group of friends, it wasn't that way. Come to find out, as soon as I put myself out there on who I truly am, they criticize me, they spread it, and they just saying stupid ass shit about it. And right there it clicked. I was never going to be their friends because we're polar opposites. Like, even though we're successful doesn't mean we're going to be friends. So just move on. If someone's not accepting you for who you are and who you can be, if they're not looking at you as potential friend, potential partner, like, just move on. Save yourself a lot of headache. Go be a great business owner. Go be a great dad. Do all that stuff, because it's not worth wasting your time with people that are just going to hate on you and not accept you, and you have to be fake when you're around them. It just doesn't make sense to worry about them in any way. And then on how you do this, folks, is you just identify, okay, how am I? Where do I have my good times? For me, it's at home. It's with my family and vacation and traveling. So I've identified a couple people that love family, love all that, and they love traveling as well, and they love business. And so I know that's where my group wants. I want my group to be. I want my group to be like-minded. And just because they're successful doesn't mean they're like-minded. So always start building your friendship based on who you really are. Because if you base it on who you think you want to be or who you think you are, it's just going to be fake. Awkward moments will always arise. You'll never be a part of the party. You'll be an outlier, and you'll end up hating life. So always start on who you really are and who you want to be, and who you want to evolve to be, not who you dream to be. So with that, guys, I just wanted to jump on here and make sure I got a podcast in, and this is what was on my mind, is just focusing on who you truly are. And don't let anybody, family member, anyone, sway you from that, because then you become fake and you become lost. So go ahead, and if you have anybody that needs to hear this, share this and like and subscribe it, and come back next week where we'll get back and we'll have more energized podcast next week. But this week I was a little bit in the slumps, like we always do at times, but I don't want to miss giving you a podcast list too. So go ahead and like and subscribe and share it. We'll see you next week.